Mrs. Captor of Ohio.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I ask unanimous consent to address the House for 5 minutes and to include extraneous material in the record thereof.
Without objection, gentlewoman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The world is beginning to understand what my constituents have known for far too long. Higher food prices and higher commodity prices are destroying prosperity for millions and millions of people here at home and abroad. Whether there is a hungry person in Toledo, Ohio, or in Haiti, the rising costs of basic food are really placing the world's marginalized and poor in even a tighter squeeze. Getting in the front of devastation that higher commodity prices can cause is a challenge to all of us. While I am pleased that the leaders of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank have called for $500 million more to feed the poor of the world, I'm deeply troubled that these leaders have pointed to the same tired rhetoric in diagnosing the cause of these rising prices. It's been very interesting for me to hear them say they're blaming higher food prices on the production of ethanol and biodiesel in agricultural America, which is actually a new value-added market for our farmers. It's actually a new market that's taking land that's just lain fallow for years, where we've paid commodity payments and gotten nothing. Now we are beginning to reuse some of that land again. The real culprit for rising food prices is rising oil prices. Our world is facing a crisis precipitated by the greater competition for dwindling supplies of world energy that has caused all the prices of basic goods to skyrocket. But instead of dealing with that reality of how oil is embedded in every aspect of life in this country and globally, they're trying to blame this on the new developing markets of renewable energy. Yes, under current technology, biofuels consume some food stocks for the production of fuel. Corn has been utilized by some ethanol producers, for example, but to claim that biofuels are the cause of rising food prices, that's disingenuous at best. Look to the rising oil prices at over $113 a barrel, and this oil-dependent economy must become energy independent here at home again, and renewable fuels based in agriculture are a part of the solution for this country in the world. Take a look at the rising costs of fertilizer that can be directly attributed to the increasing costs of natural gas and smaller crop sizes. According to the recent Texas A&M Agricultural Food and Policy Center analysis, rising fertilizer costs have led to a $3 million acre reduction in planted corn in the 2006-2007 crop year. Let's look at another major cause globally of why food prices are going up: drought. Drought. World food production has gone down because in Australia and Eastern Europe, and because of poor weather in Canada and Western Europe and Ukraine, we've seen overall production reduced. With such world stocks for wheat at 30-year lows, buyers are turning to the United States for supplies. Has the IMF offered suggestions to these nations for dealing with the drought that global warming is causing? No, they're just blaming America's farmers. Higher incomes around the world are boosting demand for processed foods in countries such as India and China. And this higher demand has skyrocketed the need for products produced across the supply chain. Now, has the IMF sought to better manage the uncontrolled growth in developing countries? No, they're just blaming America's farmers. With the U.S. dollar in free fall, American agricultural goods have become extremely attractive internationally and have placed great demand on foodstuff production domestically. With greater competition for food, with more U.S. exports, our weak dollar, due to terrible economic policies here at home, has decreased the power of Americans to purchase food produced right here in our country. Has the IMF identified the weak dollar as the challenge to millions of Americans faced with food shortages? Of course not. They just blame the U.S. farmer and the new developing market of biofuels. With the price of oil reaching over $110 a barrel, the world's addiction to oil is driving up the production costs of agricultural products. How much do you think it costs to haul a truckload of bell peppers from Salinas Valley in California to Cleveland, Ohio? I cannot accept IMF's wanton attack on the investment in rural America. If we followed their formula, we would not be growing any food domestically. If we were following IMF's advice, we would not be developing the infrastructure and capacity to produce our own renewable energy here at home and help lead the world in a real energy independent transformation of this country. Madam Speaker, I thank you very much for giving me the time tonight. Americans simply must commit.
Time has expired.
To cutting off our oil addiction and restoring energy independence here at home.
Mr. Jones of North Carolina.
Madam Speaker.